Ladies and gentlemen, this is Avalanche Facts. The only place where we rip the mask off politics and show you the raw face of power games in Africa. And today, we're heading straight to Ivory Coast, where democracy just got sucker punched. That's right, 4 of the country's top opposition leaders have officially been barred from running in the upcoming October 2025 presidential elections. No joke. No warning. No fair play. Let's break this all the way down. Unless a miracle happens, or the courts suddenly grow a spine, Ivorians will not be able to vote for Tijane Thiam, leader of the Democratic Party, Ivory Coast's largest opposition party, and a man many saw as a serious contender for power. Laurent Gbagbo, a former president with deep grassroots support. Charles Gbagbo, Gbagbo's right-hand man, a charismatic but controversial figure. Guillaume Soro, former prime minister, once considered the rising star of Ivorian politics, now in exile. All 4? Disqualified. All 4? Barred not just from running, but from voting. This isn't just a political shakeup, it's a political purge. Let's start with Tijane Thiam. Back in April, his name was already taken off the electoral list over controversy about his French nationality. Critics said it was a thinly veiled excuse, a technicality used to eliminate a strong challenger. Now, the Electoral Commission has made it official. His appeal? Rejected. The other 3, Gbagbo, Gbagbo and Soro, have been off the list for years. Why? Criminal convictions. Gbagbo was acquitted by the ICC but still has domestic legal issues. Gbagbo's name vanished after a string of post-crisis court battles. Soro? Sentenced in absentia while living abroad, many call it a politically motivated hit job. The result? No major opposition candidate on the ballot. And that's the story the mainstream media won't shout loud enough. Now ask yourself this. What does a presidential election mean if the biggest names are missing from the ballot? This isn't just a legal issue. This is a question of democratic legitimacy. Ivory Coast is entering dangerous territory. The country has a history of post-election violence, ethnic division, and deep political rivalries. Blocking popular candidates only throws more fuel on that fire. And it's not just about who runs, it's also about who votes. These 4 aren't just candidates, they're voters too, stripped of their right to participate in their country's future. Let that sink in. But hold up, this isn't over. Tijane Thiam isn't going down quietly. He's announced he'll file a complaint with the UN Human Rights Committee, calling this what many believe it is, a blatant violation of political rights. Whether the UN steps in, that's another story. But what's clear is this. Thiam is internationalizing the fight, and that could bring global pressure on the Ivorian government like never before. So what happens next? According to the Independent Electoral Commission, there's no plan to revise the lists before the elections. Translation? These bans are final, unless something explosive happens. Meanwhile, the ruling party walks into October's election with little resistance. A democratic race? Or a staged ceremony? Africa is watching. The world is watching. Because what happens in Ivory Coast doesn't stay in Ivory Coast. It sets a precedent for the continent. Will this spark unrest? Will the people take to the streets again like in 2010 and 2020? Will the youth, often silenced, rise to defend their future? Time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is not business as usual. You've just been hit with the facts. No fluff. No filter. This is Avalanche Facts, where we don't just follow the headlines, we break them down like a sledgehammer. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and share this video with anyone who still believes in real democracy across Africa. Drop a comment. Should the bans be lifted? Or is Ivory Coast headed for another political disaster? Stay sharp. Stay woke. And remember, democracy dies not in darkness, but in silence.